this one. All right, Ivan, the thing that's tricky about this one,
It is tricky, you know that.
well, it's really not that tricky. The tricky thing about it is like, okay, when I first looked at this problem and Edgar picked it, I saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to be really difficult. And I told Jose, this 2 right here means square root, but I was saying, oh, it's the square root of a negative. And that's imaginary, and I didn't think that would be an appropriate answer for this class, but then I realized that this actually, so check this out. This right here, it actually equals -4. This equals +4. Because this top one really is -1 times 2 squared. This thing right here is not actually subtracting from anything except for 0. So this really means, what this really means, and this is like one trick, the first thing that you have to recognize, this is really like 1 times 9 to the 3/2 power. Yep. So we can now handle this. We can now handle this because we got this. Now the other thing over here, you see this negative exponent?
Yeah.
That means reciprocal, but it doesn't mean the reciprocal of the exponent. It means the reciprocal of the whole thing. It means, so I don't want to write, I'm going to write something a little simpler. Like 5 to the -1 power, that's dividing by 5 is what it really means. But if it was something like this, then the way you divide is you multiply by the reciprocal, and that means that you would flip it over. The reciprocal means you flip it over. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to flip it over, and this one we have to do the square root of 9 cubed. A couple ways we can handle it. I'm not really sure what the easiest way is just yet, because I actually haven't solved it. I just saw what was going on, and I figured we could work our way through it together. So what we're going to do is we have to figure this out. Now, like that 2 means square root, like exponent of 1/2 means square root, right? So this would be like the same as the square root of 9, which is 3. So this part's 3, but it's 3 cubed. That's 27. -27, because a negative times, right. So this whole thing right here actually equals -27. Now it's been a long day. I told you it's been a weird day. It's a full moon. Edgar's over there about to turn into a werewolf. So just because
he's on the point.
Oh, I know. So just because of all that, I'm not 100% confident in this. So I would like to try that same part a different way before I move forward and see if I get the same answer. Okay? I mean, if this was a test, we wouldn't have time to do that. But when you're practicing and studying, you got time. So let's see if we can get this 9 to the 3/2 power a different way and see if we get 27 again. So the other way we could do this, we could do the square root of 9 cubed. The square root of 9 cubed is, well, 9 cubed is 729, but that doesn't really help. So I don't know what times itself is 729, so I'm not going to chase that one. But I do know this. 9 cubed would be 9 times 9 times 9, right? I'm comfortable with that. The square root of this 9, so I could actually rewrite this as like 9, the square root of 9, and the square root of 9. Each one of those is 3, and together that's all, that whole thing is 27. So I am confident that this part is 27. 100% confident. But I did it 2 different ways, got the same way, got the same answer. I would prefer not to do it this way, because this way I would make a mistake. I would like to just think about it. That's the square root of 9, which is 3. 3 cubed is 27 times -1. But it's a good idea to do it both ways. Okay, now all I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to rewrite this one. 27 to the 2/3 power. The sign of the exponent changes because that means division, and negative means opposite. Exponents are multiplication. The opposite of repeated multiplication is division. The way you do division is multiplication by the reciprocal. Long story short, short story long, flip it. Change the sign. Okay, now we have to simplify this. That's cube root squared. Well, okay, so you remember, like, the way I was kind of trying to teach you about this is that 3 says what number times itself 3 times is 27, right? 3. That says, what do you have if you have 2 of them multiplying? That's So negative 27 plus 9 is negative 18. Is that good? It didn't work out to be that bad at all, did it? Yeah. Now, let's talk about this part again right here. Like going from here to 9. Again, just to make sure we're clear. Like, the way I like to think about it is this really means this 3, the whole thing is a rational exponent, and they're asking questions about repeated multiplication. The 3 says what times itself 3 times equals 27, and that's 3, because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27, right? And then the 2 says what's the second number in that series? 9. Another way we could do that, you could rewrite it in radical form, like this, right? Now, the cube root of 27, well, that's something we can do, right? So the cube root of 27 squared would be the cube root of 27 times the cube root of 27. Cube root of 27 is 3 times 3, 9. So either way, we get 9. And then when the whole thing's done, negative 27 plus 9, negative 18. Wasn't that bad, really. You just have to be careful. So, last thing, and we're going to wrap it up. With a problem like this, okay, have your emotional fit. Cry a little bit, pray a little bit, whatever you got to do. And then when you're done being upset, just say, wait a minute. If this is a question I have to answer, then I probably know everything I need to know. And then you just look at it and say, well, what do I recognize? What do I know? And that's what I did. I cried. I punched a baby. Not really. But I wanted to. There weren't any here. I mean, it's weird today, right, Edgar? Anyway, so anyway, I looked at it and I thought, oh man, that's going to be really weird. I don't think this problem really fits with what we're doing in this class. But then I just thought about what I knew, and I was able to do the whole thing.